Welcome back, guys. Thanks for joining me for another beer review. Just had to close the curtains. Do you know what? The sun is so annoying. I moan the bloody sun's never out. When it does come out, the only time it ever comes out is when I put the bloody camera on. It's a bit like the cats. Never see the cat ever unless I put the camera on and try and do a video, or it's 5 o'clock in the morning, you know, when they're on the bed going bloody cats. Anyway, what we're here to do, we're here to do a comparison video now. God, there went all Prince Charles in on you. Funny enough, I'm watching the Windsors, the Harry Enfield thing at the moment. That's where it come from. Anyway, yeah, going to do a comparison video now. I've literally just reviewed Leffe Blanche on the Perfect Draft, and I'm doing a comparison basically with that one, Leffe Blanche on the Perfect Draft, with the Edelweiss wheat beer, the Blanche one, on the Heineken blade. I've got a couple of pints left. I did wonder whether I was going to drink it before that one turned up, but luckily I haven't. So we've got a glass there waiting. We've also got a glass sitting there. You might just be able to see there next to the Perfect Draft. The Perfect Draft is set at 3 degrees because it is set, that's what they recommend for that beer. The Heineken blade just goes to 2, so there is a little bit of difference in temperature, just 1 degree. So I'm going to pause the video in a minute. I'll do a pour of each of them. I won't record it all, but I'll do a pour of each of them. We'll get them back and then we'll crack on. So hopefully it'll be an interesting one. You know, we'll just compare them both, won't we? We'll just compare them, but we'll see which one comes out on top. And then we can have the blade and Perfect Draft argument that everyone loves. I've got the best one. No, you haven't. I've got the best one. Right, so we are back. The argument starts now. Perfect Draft one. Took some getting some head on it. It's going down as well. The one on the blade, if you like, took more work to try and not get the head to be so big. If you own both the machines, you're gonna yeah. Got Paul John Tame on there, rate my beer. Get off me video, mate. Get off me video. Yeah. Anyone that owns both the machines know that generally the beer on the blade is a lot more carbonated than the stuff on the Perfect Draft. So beer's in a glass. There we go. That was a slightly bigger head when I poured it, but that took some doing just to get a bigger head there. So for me, you look at that now, you know, and for a Weizen or a wheat beer or something, you'd be looking at that and going, well, not much of a head on there. Like, now a lot of people do like that, but for me, I like to see a bit more of a bigger head and a bit more, you know, oomph in it, if you like. But it's a deep amber looking beer. I'm not seeing any carbonation going up, but I'm pretty certain there'll be some there. But the head has virtually gone. We've literally just got a skim in there. Now over to the blade one, the Edelweiss wheat beer Blanche. There we go. That has been sitting there. Now the head was up to there when I poured it, and that was, I wouldn't say it was a struggle. I did stop for a second to get my glass under there, so maybe that made the head go a bit bigger. But it's normally quite a well carb, you know. I've nearly finished the keg and the head is always big on it, which does make that look a little bit disappointing. But yeah, this one, decent sized head on it, has gone down. We still got about a finger and a half of white compact head, whereas that is just a dusting on top. This is also, I would say, just as hazy, but a lot lighter. A lot lighter. That's more of a deep amber. This is more like a light amber colour, if you like. So at the moment, on looks, if I'm brutally honest, on looks, certainly the blade one is looking much better. So let's dive in with the nose and see what we get. Because there's no head on it, I'm too scared to swirl it, so we'll just have a sniff. Yep, wheaty, fruity, floral. Something I didn't pick up in the actual review was the sort of like the banana thing, that sort of coming through more. You've still got that Leffe twang in the background and a little bit of spiciness. So yeah, it's got that typical Leffe aroma to it. Now I can swirl this around because it's, you know, calmed down a bit. Now, funny enough, I mean, we are getting near the end of the keg of that one. There's maybe a couple of pints left. Whether that should make any difference, I don't know. That one is quite fresh. That's only the second pint out of it, and this is like probably the second pint from the end. But yeah, it doesn't have as much aroma on it, or different aromas. What it has is just a big wheaty aroma, which is what you expect. The banana thing is there, but more in the background. There is a little coriander note as well. Which one do I prefer? I mean, certainly on looks. Yeah, but even that sort of died off on the aroma a bit. And if I could swirl that, I'd probably get that aroma up again. But certainly on the looks, I would say the Edelweiss from the blade. On the aroma initially, yes, that one, but going back to them now, I'm going to say the Edelweiss again. So let's dive in on the taste. I'm not going to be able to swirl this one around, I'm just going to have to dive in. So let's go in on the Leffe Blanche. Perfect draft, set at 3 degrees. Cheers. Yeah, you know, I reviewed it and I said it needs to go in this glass. Maybe it doesn't. I reviewed it in a Leffe glass, and I was thinking that maybe it's better in a Leffe glass. Or what I said at the time was, I'll put it in a Leffe glass, but maybe it's better in a Weizen glass. Not convinced it is, maybe. Second pint out of it's a learning curve. Let me go again. Yeah. Body, I said, was quite good. It has still got weight to it, but without a head on it, it loses some of that. You know, you do have to work at this. This is probably the sort of beer that you need to pour straight, no tilt in the glass and that. I mean, it certainly looks a lot better there, doesn't it, just from doing that. They're looking more sort of even now. But yeah. Body's nice, but I did say in that video it felt easier to drink maybe than this one. It's pretty smooth, it's pretty soft, goes down well. Let's go in on the Edelweiss one. Oh, I tell you what, yeah. Go do that again. At the moment, for me, well, I'm getting, yeah, when you stir it up, it's smooth. It is smooth. It's very smooth. But I'm going to go with the Edelweiss. A smoother drink, I think. A smoother drink. I think it's got that extra weight to it, which, yeah, it does make it heavier to drink, but it also makes it smoother. This doesn't have the weight. The Perfect Draft Leffe Blanche doesn't have the weight of the Edelweiss one. So although it makes it lighter to drink, it doesn't give you as much of a smoother feel to it. Minimal carbonation, but it is there just on the back. Again, keg is getting near the end. They both have a creaminess. I said in the Leffe review, it's got a creaminess about it. Again, that was in the Leffe glass. First pint out, a little bit more heavier. They both have a creaminess to them. Both smooth. The mouth feels very nice in both of them. But again, I'm going to go back to the Edelweiss and the blade. I just think it's got more about it. Certainly in the mouthfeel and everything at the moment. Filling up with gas, I do apologise. Right, let's go in. Give you some tasting notes. You know, I'm trying to liven them up a bit. Taste-wise with the Leffe, yes, it's wheaty. Giving it that bit of a swill and that, you do get more of a wheaty note than what I got in the review, but you are still getting quite a big Leffe hit. That background Leffe hit that you get with every Leffe beer is always there. And I did say in that video that there's maybe just too much Leffe in this beer, to the point that I would say it doesn't make it as good as it could be. Maybe I think they try and put their stamp on every beer they have, that Leffe flavour in there, that yeastiness. But for me, I don't think it works in this wheat beer. Not, you know, it works, it's okay, but I think it could be better. Fruity, floral, which is going to be the left side of it coming through for me. You do get a wheatiness in there. The spiciness is there. Drinking it alongside this one, I'm going to say at the moment, it doesn't seem to stand out. So that could just be because of... But I think if you're drinking it on its own, you'll get that. I'm going on the Edelweiss now again. Smoother, creamy, less fruity, less floral notes, heavier to drink. You can start to feel it. It's got more that spicy element to it because it's not fighting against the floral fruity notes that you're getting with the Leffe one. As I said, very smooth to drink, same as the Leffe one, but I do think the Edelweiss is smoother because it's got that extra weight to it. And believe it or not, the Edelweiss is 4.9%, and it's got more weight to it for me than the 5.7% Leffe Blanche. Yeah. I've got to admit, I think they're worlds apart, to be honest. I think they're worlds apart, and I'm actually quite surprised here. And it will be interesting. It will never happen because there's a certain beer reviewer out there, Rate My Beer. It was big into Perfect Draft. He's done all the blade stuff, but he's kind of kicked it into touch. And I know his little favourite now is Perfect Draft, in the nicest possible way. I say that in the nicest possible way. But for me, the Leffe Blanche, I mean, is nowhere near the Edelweiss on the Heineken blade. It really isn't for me. The ABV, do you get both of them? Like I said, you don't really get that fight. You don't get the 5.7 in the Leffe one. It's nowhere. Drink's really easy as well for it. But tasting them together now, you do get the extra ABV in the Leffe one than you do over that. And it does, if you like, it goes down easier, this one, the Leffe one, than that. But you know what, there's no way I would pick the Leffe Blanche over the Edelweiss. For me, it's a lower ABV, it's a much better drinking experience, if I'm honest. Yeah, I think that there's a world of difference. And as good as the Leffe Blanche is, or as nice as it is, I'll tell you what, all it does to me is confirm to me that Edelweiss is actually a very, very decent beer and better than I maybe thought it was. So yeah, that's the comparison done. 15 minutes. Edelweiss on the Heineken blade. Yes, it's Heineken versus AB InBev. It's blade versus Perfect Draft. Who wins? Well, for me, Edelweiss on the blade massively beats Leffe Blanche. Now, I wasn't expecting that, to be honest. Even before the PD Pro Leffe Blanche review. I wasn't expecting it. I was expecting that to be a little bit better. Don't get me wrong, it's a decent beer, but certainly on the PD Pro one, or certainly on the PD, compared to the bottle, there's more traits of Leffe in it. I reviewed the bottle. You got that Leffe twang, but in the PD Pro, that Leffe twang is more there, and for me, it's almost a little bit of a downer for it. So yeah, Edelweiss Heineken Blade beats Leffe Blanche on the PD, hands down for me. It's a world of difference, a much better beer. And I'll tell you what, Paul from Rate My Beer, I know he's all in with Perfect Draft. I dare you to get another Heineken Blade and try Edelweiss up against that. World apart for me. See you on my next one. Cheers.